Hey guys, good morning from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Welcome back and happy weekend to all of you. Time is around 9:30 a.m. So I'm doing three videos back to back, and new month started March. I just noticed it. Last month was February was decent month, very bad for economy and stuff. But I hope as the temperature is going high, everything's getting warmer, things will be a little bit picking up. So it's a depressing time, work wise. If you are not, seeing good days, it definitely will get you upset. But I decided to continue my work, and hopefully things will pick up and get better for everybody. I pray for you. So what I have a discussion here today, and this is going to be a discussion, not a review. So if you're looking for a review, you can skip the video. It's going to be a general discussion of pros and cons of fresh fragrance. Sorry, no, not fresh, cheaper fragrances, like affordable, really cheap. Like we are looking at 20-30 dollars, this kind of budget, and maybe less sometimes, right? So 30-35 dollars, this is now called cheap segment, because back in the days, 35 bucks, people will be like, it's not cheap. You can call them affordable, but $10, $15 is the cheap fragrance range. Nowadays, no 10, $15 cologne. Gone from the market. So now prices have, I have talked to some sellers, right? They told me, brother, it's just ridiculous how the prices are going high. I feel ashamed. The same customer, I sold a Nautica Voyage $25 for, now I'm charging him 35, 40 because I have no other option, because the import duty is so high, dollar rate, and every single fragrance in the world have increased their price. Every single one of them. Bulgaris became $45 to 80, 80 to 100, something like that. Twice, double the price, more. So yeah, right now, option for people who love fragrances, for many people, majority, so to shift to more of these Middle Eastern houses, affordable budget houses. Many of you ask me, bro, why so many cheap clones? Why Middle Eastern house? Why do you do so many clones? Let me answer that, then we'll start the discussion. To answer that, it's a very simple answer. Okay, many of you who see the review, you can complain, hey, your setup is not good, buy a new camera, but you don't understand the reality, right? It's not a funded sort of channel. Like, people don't pay me to do this work. Yeah, I do have monetized channel, I do get ads, so I earn some money from YouTube, and then I have a small Decant page. But altogether, even it's not anywhere close to what I spend on perfumes, because it's a hobby, it's a passion, it's an addiction. You can say it's a bad word, but fragrances are my line of work, and I don't do anything else. I just stick to this because I like to work from home, and I don't like to work under bosses. I don't like to take orders. That's one thing. I'm a bit arrogant, and I particularly tell you, like, people ask me, why you complain so much about your country, Bangladesh? Do you think the grass is greener in the other side of the border? Yes, it will be, because I have certain preferences. Even if you give me $1 million to live here, I would not do it now, because the living standard, the cost of living, and also the corruption, some people can deal with it, they're fine with it, because it doesn't affect them until it does. And people misbehaving, no manners, these are the things that really really matter. Like, people's behavior, like overall, wherever you go, no dirtiness, everything, these things matter. So coming back to this discussion, many people prefer to watch sweet, like, how to say, cheaper fragrance reviews, and they get the most views. When I do lists, and when I do cheaper Middle Eastern perfume, they get the most views. Individual review on, let's say, something of a new release, niche perfume, I do that, I spend $300 on it, I'll do my heart and soul, and people would not watch it. The same people say, why don't you do expensive fragrance? These people don't watch that. So I have to be practical, I have to survive, and I share openly with all the secrets with you. No hidden agendas here. I have to make a living, right? So yeah, I do what's popular. You see most of the reviewers, female, they go do this cringe videos, top 10 sexy fragrances to get her in bed. Why do they do that? Because they know these are the things that sell. I don't go to that extent, thankfully, yet, but I am trying to do this, so cheaper fragrances have the biggest market now. They're taking over, because 20, $35, this is the most popular fragrance segment in market, and sellers, they have to keep those in their arsenal. So let's see some of the cheaper fragrances, why, what's pros and cons. For me, I already told you the reason why I do this. Let's show you some one by one. Let's show this fragrance called Tag Him by Armaf. I'm going to give example and explain to you. So what are the pros? The pros about this fragrance is price tag. 20 something dollars, within $30 you can get it now. Previously used to be, I think, $22 or $15 you could find it. Nowadays, as the price increase, they increase the prices. So a very cheap looking bottle, ugly looking bottle, to be honest. It has a very mild sort of a magnet, and this is one of the first Bleu de Chanel inspired fragrances, and I really like it. I actually at first hated it, like, eh, mm, like synthetic, garbage looking bottle, and the opening is a little bit synthetic. But as I saw one day, I sprayed a body spray in a mall just for fun. I sold off my bottle at first, and then I smelled it just for fun, and I really liked it. I will just be honest with you, it gave me really, really nice vibe. And then I decided to get that fragrance. That time it cost me 25, okay, 25 bucks. So what did I get? Pros. Pros is I got something that is inspired by Bleu de Chanel, which is costing $150. So 150 versus $25, no brainer. Second thing, it smells quite decent. It smells very pleasant in air. On the dry down is pretty nice. So you get a lot of things from this cheap fragrance, just that you don't get cons, you don't get a nice bottle, you don't get the most realistic grapefruit opening. So you see, there is some give and take. But again, as consumers, you know what you're getting when you pay less. If you ask me, when I suggest a cheaper alternative, some people go like, bro, suggest me something cheap, and you buy that and you're like, bro, that's not the most natural opening, that's not the longest lasting, this is not the most premium. And when your expectation go that way, at that point, it's not the fault of me or the fragrance or anything in the world, it's people. That's what's wrong with the world, like, I'm sorry, sometimes I get a little bit upset. I don't lose it, but I can understand how people are so spoiled. They want to spend $20 and they want the most expensive smelling fragrance in the world. Is that what happens? Give you some example. If you go to a buffet, let's say a normal buffet that costs you $10, 15 bucks, like, it's not very expensive, right? It's not anything like premium or upscale, compared to going to somewhere like Westin or Sheraton. Like, you pay very hefty amount, like $1,000. Let's say $1,000 steak buffet versus $15, $20. What are your expectations? Are you going to expect like they're going to give you Kobe beef in $10, $15 buffet? No chance. They're going to give you some beans, some cheap alternatives. They're going to give you some menu which are within that budget. And for that budget, if you're happy, you know that what you're earning and versus what you're getting is good. But imagine you earn very small amount of salary and you expect to go to say 7-Eleven, but you go there and you ask like, bro, don't you have like this brand like of I don't know, what do they sell in 7-Eleven? 7-Eleven, they sell normal stuff, right? Day in, day out, small sandwiches. People, who are the truckers, like if you're driving a truck or just taking a break, you pay some money and get some juice and stuff, but you don't get the most precious brands, right? So you cannot compare, right? So this is exactly same in fragrances. If your pocket is not deep enough, really, I'm telling you, I buy this and I keep it in mind all the time. If it's not the longest lasting, I do not complain. If it's not the most natural or not 100 one-on-one clone, I don't uh, complain. But the downside definitely are there. So good and bad, both sides, right? So tag him, for me, in my humble opinion, is a very good fragrance still for the price, and it smells nice. People don't talk about it anymore, but it's a good fragrance. Another example, let me give you a fresh fragrance on musk. This is called White Musk for Men by The Body Shop. They're one of the most cheaper looking packaging. The cap is really cheap, and they don't even give you a box. It used to be like 15, $17, like 20. Now it's more like 30 something, 30, 32. So White Musk for Men is one of the best Body Shop fragrances, hands down. In terms of smell, I used it a lot, in my time. And musk is not my even favorite note. I mean, I'll tell you, musk is something, it is very like, see the cap quality, I put it back and it's like, I am slant neck dude. So musk is, let's say, something like narciso or some animalic musk. I don't think I can pull it off. I mean, for some reason musk doesn't feel like the most easy to wear note, like rose, musk, oud, or incense. For me, I stay away from this DNA on most part. But when I smell this white musk, I really liked it from the beginning. It's very usable, very wearable, very friendly. First thing, wake up in the morning, fresh. You're going for a walk, jogging, for gym, 1 to 2 hour session. That's it. This fragrance is good enough for that period. But what you don't get a box. You don't get the longest lasting fragrance. You don't get the most upscale something from, let's say, House of Killian. You don't get that quality ingredients in there. But if you're happy, like a happy person, man, I earn basic salary. I just want to smell good, and I just need a cologne for daytime usage, which makes me happy. white mask for men, from the body shop. You go and feel happy, confident shopping there instead of going to Chanel or Dior, where they're gonna be like, "Sir, am I gonna give you all three? Take the Edition Blanche, take the Eau Extreme." And imagine you have in your pocket like just like $40 and you're just sweating under your clothes. And you'll be like, "Oh man, I hope I don't have to buy this out of pressure and stuff." And the thing is, I don't even have the money. How do I buy this? And all sort of panic alarm starts ringing. And no such thing with body shop. You go there, like, give me this one, give me the activist, give me like two, three fragrances. I can afford it, no problem. But then you act up a little bit, you act like a little bit arrogant. So I'm just joking, by the way. But white mask, you get what you pay for. Second example, okay? Something like Narciso is going to cost you easily 70, 80, $100. This is going to cost you 20 something. Give and take, right? Third example, let me give you a clone of something very expensive. Now they have discontinued this line due to legal issues, but let me give you an example. It's called Bright Peach by Mason Alhambra Latafa. This, from the bottle, as you can see, it's a dupe of Tom Ford's private line, which is, I think, Bitter Peach, right? They have Bitter Peach and then the Lost Cherry, few of the other ones, effing fabulous. So they have released quite a few. And for the 50 ml bottle, they ask for 500, $600. Who's crazy enough to buy those? Crazy rich people, crazy rich Asians. I'm just joking. That's a series I used to watch. Anyway, so Bright Peach, what to expect? This and the original, I smell both. I reviewed both. Bright Peach is a bit different story than the previous two. Why? This smells very pleasant. This smells really nice. It smells from like first spray. It smells like mango, peach, and vanilla and milk. If you mix them together, it feels like a dessert. Very yummy, very tasty, no alcohol blast, nothing. And I was very happy when they released it. It looks really premium. The whole line of the bottles look very premium. And you get 100 ml. Is it 100 ml or 80? Forgot the bottle size. Does it say? I don't remember. It doesn't say, I guess. Anyway, so it's a bit more like more juice than the original. And see the price tag. Price tag was 30, I think $30, give or take $35. A little bit pricey for a clone, but great offering. So if you have this and you imagine you smell the Tom Ford, obviously the Tom Ford is going to cost a lot more and smell more upscale. But practicality wise, how long can you use a little 50 ml bottle? Let's say you spray every day twice, it's going to finish within a year, right? This bottle, you buy 10 bottles for the Tom Ford price and you spray every day 10 sprays, no problem. See, practicality wise, no issue. Smells great. People even give you compliments. People actually buy this who have expensive collection. So this is a little bit different in a way that even though this is cheap, it smells very nice. So a couple more, let's say, example, then we finish it. Now, I'm going to talk about a bit controversial fragrance like this house, getting some bashing and love at the same time, some hype. I'll tell you, I'm revealing some truth today. This house, Rayhan, okay, Ocean Rush. I was the first one to review quite a few from this line, even though I watched some reviewers reviewing this house before, and I fell for the hype. So the company sort of contacted me, sent me a few fragrance bottles, and I ended up buying few more. So basically, I received some, I bought some, and I was very happy to be reviewing them, until some bitter things happen. But I don't want to go deep into that. Let's keep it a secret. But Ocean Rush, some of the other ones, that is a clone of Cool Water, there's a Pacific, and I think there is a Fresh Wave. All three part of the Blue collection. So what are the pros and cons? Pros, very cheap, darn cheap. You can buy these for like whole line for nothing. No, it's like $20 each, or yeah, $20 each. So $60 you can have all three of 100 ml. So 300 ml of juice. Great. All can be good for summer, and they smell really nice, pleasant, nothing to hate. But the Ocean Rush got the most hype. Why? It smells like apparently Prada L'Homme, some expensive perfumes. When I smell them, nothing. When I smell these, they smell nothing like those, right? So I know they're marketed for hype and stuff. And when they say the name Alberto Moria, so this kind of thing, sadly, when it become viral, people buy without testing. And when they do, some people, they go like, oops, I did again. And they go like, bro, this stuff doesn't last. This stuff smells synthetic. This stuff is full of alcohol blast. You'll see some reviewers like Nixon Diaz. He did a very dead honest review. I sort of chuckled. So some people wanted to bash me like, hey, Joy, these are cheap and this is horrible. And when they saw the review, I did not really say 10 out of 10. I gave good positive reviews, but at the same time, I also said this smells nothing like Prada L'Homme. So, when people go like, oh, the hype, this is the worst thing that people have to endure at times. Like people, when they see hype, they cannot resist. They blind buy, they order. When they get, their expectations do not match the reality. So this is kind of like a low side of cheap fragrances, right? Keep it in mind. This is a $20 cologne. If you're expecting Prada L'Homme, let's say just Prada L'Homme, doesn't even have to mix with anything else. If you can think 20 bucks is going to replace your $100 Prada L'Homme, think again, because there's a reason. I always give example of cars. When you get into, let's say, the cheap built car, okay, let's say the cheapest car. What is the cheapest car in the world? Tata, Suzuki. I don't know. Suzuki is a good brand. um, what is the worst? Like some people say Hyundai. Now Hyundai also picked up the game. Let's say some premium car brands, right? Jaguar, Bentley, let's say Mercedes. It's a status symbol versus, let's pick up Toyota. People love to hate Toyota, but Toyota is the most reliable car, the longest lasting. They last for 20 years, no issue, and very reliable, doesn't break down, even very easy to maintain. So let's say Toyota, right? Toyota is a cheap car, but what don't you get in Toyota? Luxury. Some people say, man, I don't feel like there's no noise in the car. There's some noise in the cabin from my Toyota, but when I sit inside a Benz, and that red car is like so soundproof. When I go over the bump, I don't feel anything. See, you know the difference between those two cars class, but you also know the number of zeros, right? And how much you have to spend to maintain that. One tire costs more than four tires of Toyota, right? That's the reality. BMW, if it breaks down, God help us, like, people want to sell off their car for cheap because they don't want to, renew the car's permits or do the servicing because it's so expensive. Fuel wise, it rings petrol. So goods and bads, but you cannot compare Toyota versus a BMW or a Mercedes for quality difference. Same with this brand and Prada. I hope you get the point, right? So before you judge or bash a reviewer, sometimes, yeah, they are paid reviewers. They are send the perfumes. They're paid to promote it. You have to know these things better, but this is part of their job also, right? So you cannot blame the reviewers. They have to make a living as well. But I really wish that real reviews can be done without judgment, right? One final one. Which one we're gonna go? um no, let's give like a example of this fragrance that I'm about to review next, maybe tomorrow or something. It's a new house. I forgot the house name, but it's called Team Force Noir. When you see the name, you know it's a Tom Ford dupe. Yeah, it's a Tom Ford's fragrance dupe of Noir de Noir. I got this for very cheap, $15 and under. And I will tell you one thing. Let's show you one thing. Magnetic cap. Just for that magnetic cap, it's worth so much more than $15 for me. It's a sign of a good, it's a nice presentation, like David Beckham instinct. Magnetic cap feels good, right? And the fragrance is a very good dupe. I'll talk about it. But then again, difference between this and Tom Ford: quality ingredients, longevity, presentation wise. Tom Ford looks so much more posh, and then, like, it doesn't smell synthetic. It smells really like the real quality fragrance. Opposed to that, this is budget. It's a clone, decent clone, but not crazy, right? But longevity wise, decent. So what to expect? A dupe of Tom Ford, just like Bright Pitch. But then again, can you compare to Tom Ford? Yeah, you can. When you see the number of zero differences, yes, you can. Tom Ford Noir de Noir goes for, think, $350 per 100 mil. This one goes for 150. You do the maths. And if you're expecting Tom Ford exact quality and you complain they are not the same, then we are not at fault. It's the people who are not practical. So yeah, upside, downsides, why you do reviews, why you do so much list, why you buy so many cheap fragrances. Cheap fragrances, even though they're cheapest, I invest in one of these. Let's say I do a list like this: top five affordable fragrances. This is gonna get so much more views than if I say a niche list. People are not gonna watch it because they are not really readily available. People don't have always that high amount of money to spend on niche perfumes, and very few people, even people who used to use designers, now they're moving on to this affordable houses. So yes, these are the reasons, these are the reality. Do let me know what you thought of this topic and my assessment. Do you think I said some wrong stuff, if I oversaid it, overdone it, or I understated it? And these fragrances are really good, like Raihan, Ocean Rush. You feel it's a masterpiece. You do let me know. But I'm gonna let you know what I really feel. That is just a one man's opinion. Have a nice day. Thanks for watching and love you all. Take care.